Well, welcome back to Rough Restos. I'm Jordan, and once again we're working on the Capri, which I'm sure a lot of you are happy about. So, last episode we got a fair bit done. We got the wiring almost finished up, we got the BMW E30 lights fitted, the front end sort of put back together, the looms all made. Yeah, quite successful, which was really nice. We're now starting to sort of get over most of the big jobs, and it's now sort of finishing up all the little bits and bobs and stuffs. So there's no real plan for this episode other than make progress, and that's what we're going to do. So you can see, last episode, I got the strut brace fitted, that might be in this episode, might not. We're going to tie up some of the bits and bobs, like the annoying little bits. So we need to make a new bonnet release cable and route it through the inner wing for the bonnet release. Never done that before, we'll give it a go. We've got to mount things like the clutch reservoir back in, or the new one in, washer bottle in, deal with the washer jets, and all these little bits and bobs. So I reckon I'm going to shut up and we'll just start cracking on with job by job until the jobs are finished. Probably not this episode, but within the next few episodes, this thing surely has got to be sort of getting on the road. Got to be, right? So we need to tidy up all this mess, but that can come afterwards, you know. I want to tie up some of these little bits and bobs, and then obviously we've got to chuck ball 20 times a minute because the weather's terrible, so I've got Pupsy in here. So, new hose for the clutch master because the old one started to deteriorate because it was rubbish, so there's that one. A reservoir which must be 3 times the size, so that will help with bleeding. Just better idea really. I think we're going to mount this one up a smidge higher. Oh dear. That's going to go around here somewhere in a minute. That is the plan. Yeah. It'll clear the bonnet then at least still. And it will give us more height because if you guys remember, the master is quite high up in behind here. So the more height we can get, the better. So, let's get this pipe routed through onto the dashboard again, back into the fitting, and then work out how we're going to mount this on here. There we go. Made this not fancy bracket. That basically hooks on to a little stub we got on there, and then that bolts in through there using the hardware it come with. I'm hoping we'll find out in a second. It should fit in there quite nicely. Perfect. He thinks. I do. That's in. I filled up some fluid just in case it wants to gravity bleed a little bit. Don't think it will because it's a pain in the ass. But no harm in it sitting there full of fluid. So I bought one of these I bought like a 5 meter brake cable, throttle cable, universal cable kit. So we got the main sheath. The inner nylon, we won't be needing that stuff because that's, yeah, kind of like a replacement for this. Yeah, won't be needing that, but we do need that. Do need a wire, and we will probably use the tensioner in here and some of the other ferrules and bits and bobs. So probably my best thing to do first off with is to feed this through the car, work out how I'm going to fit it into the existing mechanism, which I'm pretty sure I should just better literally just, this will fit back in where the original one did, and I'll just have to make a cable end to go onto the rod that's in the handle. I'm pretty sure there's a rod in the handle from memory, or a clip on or something like that. So that should be fairly simple. And then once we've got this in place, we can work out down here where our bracket's going to go for our tensioner. Now there used to be a clamp, I'm pretty sure it used to clamp on, it might have gone for like one of these bolt holes up here. And it used to just clamp on, but the outer sheath would be clamped here, and then obviously the inner cable went round, attached onto this rod, and it pulled this spring back to release the bonnet. So I think we could do something similar, but we need our bracket for our tensioner to be sat somewhere below here. So we'll probably have to fabricate a bracket and then bolt it on through, because yeah, that's too close. So we're going to have to make something down here, one way or another. won't be an issue. So I get the cable, the outer sheath run through, get it measured off, cut it, and then we can run the inner cable through into the inside, get that part done, and then sort of work our way back to here. I reckon that's a plan. So I've been cracking on. We've got the cable through here, cut, ready to go. Up in here, I'm not sure you guys can see it now. Not really. I made a nice little bracket, painted it up with the other end of this on it. So the cable now will come through here, go into my sort of secure bracket here with these stainless fixings, and it will loop on to right down there. You can see the hook for this one, so it needs to loop on through that. So we're going to run the cable now through that and back into the car, and then I need to loop the cable around the handle and loop the cable around this hook. So I'm going to keep it simple. I'm simply going to loop it round, back on itself, and join it with the connectors. Now, some of you may notice they didn't come with a cable kit. I'm an electrician, they are actually 5mm connector blocks. Now, the one thing we do want to do, just because it's good practice, is we want to grease up the cable. So I'm going to wax some white grease in with the cable as I thread it through. That will keep it nice and spot on in there. So I'm going to crack on, get it connected up, and we'll see what happens. So another jobbed. So the whole mechanism's in, that works now. It's yeah, I think it seems to be working spot on, although I won't know until I've actually put the latch in it, and then so it's the first time I close the bonnet, I'll be doing it without the grill, because with the grill, yeah, won't work out so well. Not if it doesn't work. I've put in as well my big spring, so I've got a spring that comes from here back to a latch, and that keeps it shut. Now, if I never had that as factory, because obviously this spring here does do the same job, but I kind of like the extra reassurance. One, that spring gives a more positive feel on the handle, and the old cable was like a solid cable, so I think it was a bit sticky, so it just helped pull it back in completely. Because if that wasn't pulled back entirely, with the bonnet shut, there's always a risk that that could let go whilst you're driving. Typically, obviously, at speed it would happen. So I always like the idea of having an extra spring in there. It's just like a secondary, proper locks it shut. It means you have to give the bonnet a bit more of a push to get it click in, but then it's solid. So that's done. Obviously I need to secure the cable up in the inner wing along with the other wiring loom and bottle, which might come next because we've now done with the front end part. I've got a few alterations to do to wiring still, inside as well, which I might jump on in a second. Get the washer jets done actually. We can pipe them and fit them in a minute, and then maybe push it back on the ramp, get it up, and get this washer bottle mounted. And that's a load of the small jobs done at the front. We're taking through them. And then do I want to start doing the throttle body and the injectors, or do I want to start messing around with the strut brace? That's the question. I should probably do the injectors first, shouldn't I? Yeah. Oh well, let's crack on again with the small little bits and bobs. Start just ticking items off. Perfect. Four small little bits done. Tied up and screwed in that loom down there now. So that's now secured. Tied up the ones with the grommet to go through. Oh, actually I still need to put a P-clip on the overflow hose there. Washer bottle is now in. Where's the torch? This mess keeps getting worse. I just can't work out how. Not there. So I've got underneath here now. So we've got a bottle there. Nothing too pretty, but functional. The cables and all that are now P-clipped along the top here. That's perfect. That's all good. Just need to cut the cable ties. Let's do that in a second. Oh, I connected up the reverse switch, so actually we can see if that works as well now. And obviously the washer bottle. Let's give them a go. Shall we pop a glossy ball to? So, can I reach in? Let's connect the battery first, eh? That would probably help us in our electrical adventures. There we go. Let's give it another go. Okay, so we've got power now. So do we have washer jets spraying up? Oh, we do. Both of them? What's the other one doing? This one obviously needs aiming down, which is not a problem. If we had a screwdriver, let's try a big one. So that's going a bit far. So that's got to aim down a good bit. Or someone over there then, is that working or? Still a bit excessive. How it is now. It's a bit pathetic. Oh crap. Oh, that's all coming down from there. Great. That one now is on. Yeah, minor adjustment needed, but they are both on. So that's another good start. Shall we see if we have reverse lights? Yeah. Up, across, down. We do not. Okay, interesting. Why do we not have reverse lights? I'm sure that's reverse. It's just difficult through the window. Nope, there we go. Alright, I'm going to work that out a second. There we go. My super bright LEDs after, it must have been in now 5, yeah, probably about 5 years. Still spot on. Excellent. No idea what it was. I took the cables off, shorted them out, come on fine. Put it in out of gear a few times, checked the resistance of the cables going on the switch, had resistance, plugged it back in, worked. So it was maybe just a sticky switch in the gearbox. After ramming it in and out a few times, it was spot on. So that's good, that now works. Oh. What next? I reckon, as we've sort of been tying up bits and bobs, we should probably do a few more superficial bits, like, do we start on the strut brace? I still need to find the brackets to, oh great, we've done it now, nice. To mount this down properly, that's all got to be done. Still got to work out a bit at the back. Clutch still needs bleeding, but that can be done at the same time we do the prop and all that. Okay, so next up we now need to bridge the gap from there to there using this. Now I might have got a bit overkill here, to be honest. We went for some, is it 3mm? Yeah, pretty sure it's 3mm 50 by 25 box. Had to go 50 by 25 because that's what I had before. That's what I wanted. I think previously I might have done 2mm. This time I've gone 3mm. So yeah, just to add a bit more weight to the front end. Why not? Not like this car's actually heavy. Because I've had a few people moan at me, go, "Oh yeah, how's it gonna handle? You know, with this like basically massive engine in it." But believe it or not, this engine is only a bit heavier than a Pinto, and it's lighter than like a Cologne, like a 2.8. And it's lighter than an Essex V6. Why? It might be 8 cylinders, but it's a full aluminium head, full aluminium open deck block. And then, not only that, I've stripped off most of the ancillaries, so it's got a lot less on it than any of them engines, or them 2.8 anyway. And it's fully aluminium, short of the pistons and the crankshaft and such. Only single overhead cam, so there's really not much to it. So yeah, believe it or not, this car now sits up a fair bit higher than it did when I had the Cosworth twin turbo in there, because that had a dual overhead cam. Might have been a V6, but dual overhead cam, had a iron block, a turbo kit, and then a massive heavy intercooler at the front. This is so much lighter, so it's actually going to handle better. So another improvement. So how am I going to do this? Well, I don't actually know, to be honest. I keep thinking I could measure this, measure that, work up my angles, cut it, or I could just start cutting and welding until I make what I want, which is more my style. So I'm going to start cracking on, cutting, welding, measuring, and we'll see if we can build a strut brace. There we go, brace is in. Come out nice and tidy actually, really tidy. So now this being 3mm thick, it's the strongest part in the entire car. We've got a nice little gap, but not too much of a gap below the bottom there, and it's about, in the highest point, about 10mm gap. So it should be spot on, just clean, tidy looking, and should clear the bonnet with ample. Should. My old one did, so that one should. Absolutely, yeah, plenty. Nice. Perfect. Well, that was the final piece to the puzzle. I'm trying to remember what we've actually done in this episode, to be honest, because since this, I've actually recorded the entire next episode and come back to finish that strut brace, as I promised to. What did we do in this episode? I'm pretty sure we done things like mount the washer bottle, put the grill on, all sorts of little bits and bobs. I honestly can't remember. But either way, I think we've got enough content in this video. I really don't know. But that brace now is sort of tying up that bay. We're getting so close now, so close. As you'll see in the next episode, we get a set back as well. Joys. I'm happy with that. That now needs painting and it needs some decals on it. So I will get on with that. Maybe in a few days' time, I might skive my last day off work working on this thing. Oh, we're not ready yet, but oh well, it is getting so close. So, if you've been enjoying the content on this Capri, and this is your first video you've watched, then why not jump back and see the previous 32 episodes. And that's just on this as a Mercedes. Prior to that, there's the Cosworth bits and bobs and all sorts. There's a 20 valve turbo Mark II Golf, there's a Range Rover Classic Turbo Technics, there's the other Range Rover Classic, there's the L322, so there's all sorts. So why not jump back, have a look at some of the previous content. Drop this video a like if you liked it. If you didn't like it, then we'll part ways there, I guess. Ideal. And obviously subscribe for plenty more. Drop me a comment, tell me what you think, and with any luck, I'll see you again next time. I've been Jordan.